I guess it really wouldn't be a video if I didn't have a kitty interrupting me when I start to record it. Kitties really love the basement. I don't know what it is. They really love the basement. I think they can pick up that I'm like really happy down here. There's a big beard hair flopping up. I need to trim that beard. Anyway, I think they can pick up... Oh, look at all the hair flying. I think they pick up that I really enjoy the basement. And they get kind of happy when I come down. And Chubbs is my big baby. He's my big baby boy. He's my big chunky monkey. Aren't you, Chubbs? All right, I'm putting you down, Chubbs, because I gotta do this video. All right, so freaking cat hair everywhere, man. I'm wearing a black shirt and get cat hair all over it. All right, so you know the drill. I'm going to talk about some of the games that I finished recently, and I'm going to talk about what I'm playing right now. So let's get started. Let's talk about some of the games that I finished recently. So if you saw the last video, you'll know that I was playing all of these, and now I'm done. So let's start with the one that I finished first. Actually, no, I didn't finish this first. When I finished the other PlayStation 5 one, which I'll get to, I polished this guy off. It's Space Wing War. Once again, this is the limited physical edition by Red Art Games. And the developers behind this game, Numa Games? I don't know. I assume so. It's Red Art Games did the publishing, but there's also an East Asia Soft involved somehow, and I don't understand how all these companies work together. Point is that this is a great game, and I really enjoyed it. I beat it in an afternoon. I gotta be honest, I am somebody who really craves smaller experiences like this. I feel one of the problems, one of the downfalls of modern gaming, and you're not gonna see me be, video games these days, they're not as good as they used to be. I'm not going to be that kind of a guy. I like video games today. I like video games in the past. I like video games today. But one thing that we have lost, that I will say that we've lost, is we've lost our ability as consumers to appreciate smaller gaming experiences. If a game comes out and it's like less than 20 hours or something, people are going to complain. People will be like, well, that's not a good use of my money. And they want these 100-hour games. And it's like, I don't hate 100-hour games, but I hate that every game is a 100-hour game. Because look at this backlog. Look at all my games. I don't have time for every single one of these stupid games to be 100 hours. I want something like this. Something like Space Wing War. That's fun. And I had a blast doing it. And I finished it in a day. I 100%ed it, got a platinum and everything, and I finished it in a day. That's what I want. I mean, it was a day spread over a couple of days because I don't have a lot of time to play. But the point is if I'd really sat down and played this, I probably could have beaten it in less than 5 hours. And that's a good thing. We should celebrate short but sweet games. And that's what this was. I enjoyed it, finished it, recommend it highly. Very good. All right, the other one I played, and I finished, Callisto Protocol. I mentioned it last time. I have to come clean. I really loved this game. Way more than I was expecting. I obviously I'm going to replay I'm going to play the Dead Space remaster, and I played Dead Space back in the day. And so maybe I'm not remembering properly, and maybe I will change my tune when I play the Dead Space remaster, but for now, I really think this is the better title. I really, really loved it. Yeah, it had some clunky controls, but its pacing was near pitch perfect. I'm somebody who, I love survival horror games, but they don't scare me. I'm nearly 50, I've seen a lot of shit. I don't get scared in movies or video games. This game disturbed me. Like, there's a certain degree of, like, unpleasant intensity that is just consistent throughout the entire game. And it's not so much that I got scared, it was more that I just felt really anxious the entire time that I played it, to the point where I had to take breaks, which is weird. Like, that doesn't happen with me in survival horror games. It hasn't happened since, like, Silent Hill 2, or maybe the first Amnesia game. It just is very rare, and yet it happened in this game. I felt anxious the entire time, and that was a good thing, because it was a good game. I really enjoyed it. And it's apparently still not doing well commercially, so go buy this stupid thing. I want a sequel. The other thing I finished, I mentioned I had started Crysis 2 Remastered. This is the steel box on the Switch, and that it was rough. It really was rough. I kind of had to force myself to get through it, and I'm not going to immediately jump into Crysis 3 on the Switch because, yikes. Again, incredibly impressive that they managed to make this thing work on the Switch. Like, you really wouldn't expect the Switch to be capable of what they did in this, but it's still really rough. I would say if you're going to get the remastered, get it for virtually any other platform. The only reason I have it for the Switch is because I have it for the other platforms, and I wanted a collectible for the Switch. I don't know, I'm an idiot. Leave me alone. Alright, let's talk about another game. So this one I didn't actually beat. I tried it out, really enjoyed it, but I wasn't feeling it at the moment, so it's one of these things that I kind of bounce off, and I will reapproach it at a later date. The thing is that it is a game that's very much in my wheelhouse, so, like, my specific interests, so I will undeniably come back to it. And that is Source of Madness. This is the limited physical edition that was put out by Super Rare Games. It came with this beautiful steelbook. Just gorgeous. Source of Madness is it's a Metroidvania. It's a roguelike Metroidvania with Souls-like combat, which that's like all the sort of stuff that I get into, except for maybe roguelite. I do like a good roguelite, but I will admit it's pretty rare for me to really get into one. And the thing is that everything that was in this really was something that I know I would get into. I just wasn't in the mood. I had just finished Callisto Protocol, and, you know, it's kind of more Lovecraftian nightmare fuel. And I wasn't feeling it. I wanted to move on to something that wasn't that. So I enjoyed it, played it, haven't beaten it, putting it on the shelf, putting it back in my backlog for when I want to play it again. One last thing that I beat this with my daughter. This came recently. This is the limited run games, limited physical re-release of Zombies Ate My Neighbors for the Sega Genesis. I also bought I also have Ghoul Patrol up there. It's back there. But I also got this, which has Zombies Ate My Neighbors and Ghoul Patrol all in one Switch cart. But I went and played this with my daughter on the original Genesis. And we had a blast. Like, it was really fun. I actually forgot that it had co-op. My deep dark secret, I technically already owned the Sega Genesis. I own the original one. I don't know why I bought it again, but I did. The thing is with limited run games, you tend to order things and it's like months in advance of before they come out. So I don't remember what logic was going through my head when I got it, but it's just another one of those games that I bought multiple copies of. I wonder if I forgot that I had it, or I'm wondering if I confused it with Ghoul Patrol, which I knew I didn't have. The problem is that I also bought Ghoul Patrol, so I don't know why I did. Anyway, regardless, the point is, we played the limited run Yes, the limited run edition together. And like I said, I forgot that it had co-op, and we played it, my daughter and I, and it was really fun. Like, it was way more fun than I was expecting. Because I do remember playing this back in the day, but I don't remember, like, really getting into it. I think part of it was that, you know, I was playing with my daughter, so I was playing co-op with somebody, and I probably played this single player before, and it might just be one of those games that just works better as a multiplayer game. But we had a blast. I'm really anxious to play the sequel, Ghoul Patrol, with her. You know, we might play it on the original SNES. I'm kind of hoping Analog did a re-release of their Super NT, and so I ordered that. And it's not going to get here for whoever knows how long it is. It's probably not going to be till later this year. So if I am going to play it with her on the original hardware, I would have to hook up the Super NES and run it through my RetroTink, or hook it up to the CRT. And I don't know. Honestly, we might just play it on the Switch because it's the path of least resistance. But, you know, maybe it's going to be a long weekend coming up. I'll probably upload this after the long weekend. I've got a problem with my gaming PC, which is where I edit these videos, so I'm kind of recording them in anticipation. So the point is that we've got a long weekend coming up where she's off, I'm off, and we might play this during the long weekend. I don't know. We'll see. So that's what I finished recently. Now let's talk about the stuff that I am currently playing. So I already mentioned that you know, my gaming PC is not working right now. We had a power failure about a week ago, and we've got a whole house generator because my wife and I work from home, and having power go out is a problem. But the thing is that there's a cutoff. When the power goes off, there's like a 60-second cutoff before the generator kicks on. And we have ups for our servers. So the network, the home network infrastructure remains. And then, of course, both of us work on laptops, so it's not like they'll just switch over to battery. But my gaming setup with my gaming PC and all my systems, that's not on ups. But I probably need to do it now because after power came back on, my gaming PC wouldn't boot, and I don't know what's going on. I haven't really had a chance to dive in and try to fix it. So my reason of telling you this is that the number of games that I'm playing is going to be less this week, simply because I'm limited. I typically am playing something on PC, and I'm not going to be playing something on PC. All right, so let's talk about what I am playing. I am playing Steel Rising. You know, I mentioned that I was considering playing Dead Space after Callisto Protocol, but I kind of need a break. Not necessarily from like the horror, but just kind of from the same genre. You know, that's kind of the way my brain works. When I finish something, I've got to play something that's a little different, and that's what Steel Rising is. Steel Rising it's a Souls-like, which again, I'm a big fan of Souls-likes. But more importantly than it being a Souls-like, it's a game by Spiders. Which is a European company. I think they're European. And a lot of people refer to companies like them as Eurojank companies, which sounds pejorative, but it's really more of a loving moniker. It's something that when I say Eurojank, what I'm really talking about is a European company that is smaller. They're not like a big AAA studio, but they tend to come up with projects and games that are larger than you would expect a company their size to put out. And the end result is that they wind up being a little bit more janky, simply because they kind of bite off more than they can chew. But the upside is that because they're not these big AAA studios, and they're not beholden to like shareholders and bullshit, they can really do interesting and unique things. Other companies or other franchises that are made by similar companies, Elix is one of my favorite franchises. Elix 2 was a little disappointing in the end, but it still was a lot of fun. And Spiders is another one of these. And Spiders did Greedfall, which it's over there. I'm not going to go get it. But Greedfall was this RPG, open world RPG, that was basically about colonizers. It was basically like, a group of people coming in and colonizing native peoples and kind of taking over their places. And so they do have a tendency to put stuff out that's like really interesting. And Steel Rising is like that. And so yeah, they put out some previous games. They've done some really cool things, and Steel Rising is yet another one, and it's a Souls-like set in during the French Revolution, where you play. The idea is, what if during the French Revolution, King Louis had clockwork automatons that he could release to quell the revolution, and be awful. And the story is, what if you were one of those automatons, but you had a different mission altogether? You're not trying to kill people, you're trying to save them. It's a great game. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun. It's a little janky, but it's very fun. All right, so what else am I playing right now? The other big game that I'm playing right now, on my Switch, I'm playing Monster Sanctuary. This is a limited run release. Hey, it's one of their numbered ones. I can't keep track which ones are numbered. Monster Sanctuary is it's like a Metroidvania combined with something like a Pokemon. You have it's a Metroidvania, so it's got the 2D pixel art running around in the big Metroidvania world with things that are gated behind getting a key or getting a new ability or something like that. But then the combat is, there's little monsters, and you capture some of those little monsters, and you recruit them to help fight other little monsters. So it's Pokemon. It's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. The funny thing is I actually did already own this. I can't remember if I own it on Steam or GOG. I own it on some digital platform, and I played it a little bit, but I just wasn't feeling it. It's like kind of like the Source of Madness thing that I mentioned earlier. I wasn't feeling it at the time, and then later on, but I was enjoying it. But then later on, Limited Run Games did their limited edition of it, and I got the special edition with the big box that's got stuff inside. I don't remember what stuff is inside. I haven't opened it in a while. It says includes Monster Sanctuary Monster Journal art book and 2-disc original soundtrack, which might be over there with my CDs. I've got audio CDs, because there's like a lot of these modern ones that've got like OSTs, and it's like, where the hell am I going to put them? So I put them in a disc holder over there. It's a game. I am now getting into it. I know that I bounced off of it before, but I'm getting into it now, and I'm really enjoying it. And yeah, if any of those combination of things sound interesting to you, Metroidvania, Pokemon, check it out. It's a pretty fun game. I do recommend it. In addition to that, digitally, like I said, my PC's not working right now, so I'm not playing a whole lot of stuff digitally except for on the Steam Deck, which I still am playing Salt and Sanctuary. It's a long game. It's probably going to take me a couple of weeks. The other thing is that these days I haven't been traveling as much. The last time we went someplace, we went to a little weekend trip like a few weeks back. And when I'm not traveling, it's kind of hard to justify in my head sitting down and playing a portable game on the Steam Deck or something. Because I've got access to my video game consoles, and so I'm going to come down and play things like Steel Rising or whatnot on the big screen TV. instead of on a little tiny screen, and I have to take my glasses off because I'm old, or put on reading glasses. Getting old sucks. Anyway, in addition to that, the other thing I'm still playing, I didn't bring it out to show, but I am still playing Dragon Warrior 2 / Dragon Quest 2 on the Game Boy. I'm playing it on my Analog Pocket. That one's probably going to be a little bit, because as I said last time, I'm finding the second game a little bit harder to navigate without a guide, and I'm stubbornly not using a guide, even though I know I should. So, and going back to the thing of like, I don't want to play with a handheld unless I'm like outside of the house. If I'm in the house, I'm going to come down here and play. And so the end result is I pick it up. I'll take my daughter to, some of the extracurricular activities that she has, and I'll sit there in my Jeep and I'll pull out the game, and it's like, it'll take me the entire time while she's off doing her thing just to remember what it was I was doing. And so it's like if you ever read a novel and you have to go back and reread to figure out what's going on, that's what I've been doing for like 2 weeks in this stupid game. So I need to just accept that I'm struggling and get a stupid guide. Whatever. Anyway, so those are the games. Those are the games I'm playing right now. I don't think I've got anything else that I'm playing right now. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. And I guess I'll see you guys next time.
Where will we find a working cannon? How will we get more vitriol? How will we make more cannonballs? Please, I ask each of you to set to work without delay. Pour la nation, messieurs.
Pour la nation.
Pour la nation.
Pour la nation.